$17,400 on their most recent deal. How did these two Chicago partners get Gator and do it? Stand by. Let's get it. Hello, guys. This is Ty, aka the FlipMan, and today I am bringing you another opportunity to learn from a couple of people that have watched my videos. I guess you would consider them YouTube subscribers of mine, and they've been getting it in out of the Chicago area, if I'm not mistaken. Is where their market is, where they're doing their deals. And so enough of me talking, we're going to get right into it. They are business partners, Arthur and Sharday out of the Chicago market. So how's it going, guys?
Everything's good, all's well.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No problem at all. So what we'll do, I'm just going to ask them some leading questions here and let you all go at it. So starting with you, Sharday, if you could just give us some background on as far as number one, how you even got interested in real estate, and I guess from the point that maybe you found my information, I'm sure you used some other information also, sources or whatever. But if we could just start with you on how you got started.
Yeah, absolutely. So real estate really wasn't a long-term or anything that I was into at first, to be honest with you. I didn't have much exposure to real estate. But what happened is I was doing direct marketing prior to learning about wholesaling. So I was marketing, I was marketing cell phones. And so someone who I come across, they had told me about wholesaling real estate. And for me, it was just a product switch. I was direct marketing already, and it was a product switch. So now I'm going to market houses instead of cell phones. And so it's simple as that for me. And then I just started researching on wholesaling, just seeing, the amount of money that you can make. The fact that you don't need any money to get started is really what attracted me to it. I went to a fortune builder seminar, and it locked me in. And I just started doing my research. And I came across you on YouTube. You discussed bandit signs. You were a big fan of bandit signs a couple years back. And it's just from there, I just started bandit signs because to me, it was an easy and cheap way to go ahead and get started.
Okay. Arthur, if you want to share your, I guess, initial interest in real estate, what you may have been doing before, and how did you, I guess, initially get involved?
My dad has always done little home improvement and side jobs and whatnot. So I've always been around the construction side of it for many years. Eventually, I bought a 2-unit, and that didn't go well. I didn't know what I was doing, and it was terrible. Didn't read anything, just jumped in. After that, fell out of it, got back in a few years ago, bought another 2-unit on used a 2 or 3K loan actually on that one. Fixed it up, rented it out, lived in it. And then I did a flip using hard money. And after that, got that back and kind of needed a way to get some additional capital, and started researching and came across your site. And like she said, you were talking about bandit signs and wholesaling, and it intrigued me, made sense. Didn't need money, or didn't need a lot of money. So kind of jumped into it that way. Just again, watching your videos and what'd you say, your 200 plus videos you always like to say. I probably watched all of them. That's kind of how it got started, and we connected through a mutual friend and started building from there.
Okay, Sharday, we were talking before we started this particular recording. If you could, I want to go with both of you guys on your first deals, but first wholesale deals. If you could go into, I guess, your first experience with trying to put a deal together. I think you said there were some issues there. And then I guess maybe into the deal where you actually made some money. So if you could share that with us.
Yeah, the fun part, right? Yeah, my first deal, I was really excited about it. I came across it through a bandit sign. It was a pre-printed bandit sign that I had used. I had just strewn them across, the west side of Chicago. I got a call. I set up an appointment with the seller. I was able to, but there was a little bit of follow up, a little bit of having to constantly stay in touch with her for about a month's time before I was actually able to secure an appointment and lock up the agreement. I locked up the agreement on a 1-page wholesale contract. I was able to actually get a few buyers out to the property within a week's time. But I had marketed the property at about $20,000, but I had offers that came in underneath the $20,000. And so what ended up happening is I had to renegotiate with my seller, and we had a verbal agreement. However, I did not do my part in actually writing up what our new agreement was, what our new price point was at the $17,500. And so long story short, when it came to closing date, actually that morning of, their attorney gave me a call saying that the seller wants you off of the HUD and pretty much is asking me how I wanted to proceed with the transaction. And at that point, I already had my buyer lined up. He had earnest money down. I had a rapport with the buyer, so I did not want to lose him and pull out on a deal. The seller's already lined up. So from my point of view, of course, I want to make money. But in addition to, I already had all the pieces to the puzzle in place, and it was bigger than me. It was actually bigger than me. They wanted to sell their house. I had a solution. And what the attorney ended up doing for me is we just ended up splitting his title insurance fee, actually. And he's my attorney to this day.
Okay. So you ended up walking away with some money.
Yeah, about $1,000.
Okay. All right. Let's fast forward to, I guess, I'm assuming the next deal you did, you made money, more money.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a constant progress since then. Bumped my head. And what I will say is I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a specific one mentor. I've looked at a lot of different YouTube videos, talked to a lot of different people. But what I would suggest is that follow one person. Follow one person, or either, have a solid mentor. I came in with no money and no knowledge. And it was a real struggle for me getting going, just because I had neither of those. Although you can do it with no money, wholesaling, you either have to have one of the two, money or knowledge. And knowledge can be from a mentor, teacher, what have you too. So, but just come in with one or the other. Okay.
Do you remember that actual second deal that you are the numbers on it? May have been a while ago. You may not remember. Do you actually remember that one?
My second deal. No, to be honest with you, I've done,
You've done a lot of deals since then.
Not a lot, but I've done about 7 since this year.
Well, just to get an idea of that market as far as there, and I know it can always vary, what would you say you average per deal, or just a range as far as the type of money you've been able to pick up?
Well, it's increasing. Our assignment fees are obviously increasing, but my assignment fees definitely started out around more so like the $2,500 mark, and now our average is constantly just building.
Okay, all right. What type of neighborhoods are you all, I guess, finding your deals? Would you say, just to put a label on them? A would be higher end, D would be quote unquote lower end, and obviously you can figure out what C's and D's are. What type of neighborhoods are you think you're finding most of your opportunities? Whoa, don't be alarmed. I got to do some house cleaning. Don't forget about the 200 plus videos that you can access right here on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, so you are alerted whenever I upload new videos or when I go live on YouTube, especially on Thursday nights when I have my live flippinars where you can ask me questions on wholesaling houses or just real estate investing in general. If you need funding, make sure you go to fundmynextdeal.com. That's fundmynextdeal.com. Submit your name and phone number, and boom, the process begins. If you like podcasts, get over to flipmanpodcast.com. You can access my podcast for Android and Apple devices. If you want to get a copy of the live event that I did in Huntsville, Alabama on how to flip apartments with no cash or credit, simply get over to flippinar.com. I did offer at an introductory rate. It has went up. but you can still get it at a very low price. If you want a copy of that recorded live event, get over to flippanart.com. Make sure on Snapchat and Instagram, follow me. That's flipman.net. That's flipman, DOTNET. On Twitter, @TheFlipMan. If you want a copy of the one-page contract that I've used since 2003, get over to flipman.net. Also, you can gain access to my actual one-on-one coaching and my step-by-step courses on wholesaling houses and apartments, also flipping vacant commercial buildings. So back to the video.
Well, when I first got started, it was the lower end. You know, it's just easier for me to just get going in that lane. The most recent deal that we just did, that was in I wouldn't call it a higher end area, but definitely, you know, middle class neighborhood. So, you know, if you're going to target the lower neighborhoods, your assignment fees will be smaller versus the, you know, middle class to upper end. You'll definitely increase your spread.
Okay. All right. Well, Arthur, I know you texted me and said that the deal that you recently did, I guess, a couple of days ago, you say you double closed it. You should have made one amount, but ended up making another because I guess the closing costs that you incurred with both closings. Could you give us an idea how that deal came about from beginning to getting a check in your hand?
Oh man, that was a monster. Bandit signs. The lady called from a bandit sign, and I think it was July when she called, late July. And it was, man, I don't even know where to start with this one. It was a rough one. Late July, she called us. She had been in and out of the hospital, so it was kind of hard to communicate with her. She only liked to talk through text message, so we had that as a barrier. Finally got it under contract. Actually, she stopped responding to my calls, and Charlie made a call, and they connected and bonded. And this was August, I think, August 23rd when we locked up the contract finally. And as you just mentioned, we just closed last week. So you can see the amount of time dealing with her.
What were some of the issues that's 2 months almost? What were, as far as from the date you got on the contract, the initial contract, over 3 months, I guess. What were some of the issues that made it extend to this point where it's almost 2 months?
Communication.
Really?
She just like I said, liked to communicate via text, but she also has some health issues. And as we dug deeper and got into the house, it was a hoarder house. Once we got into it and started cleaning things out, it was something we did that we shouldn't have did, but we can talk about it. But we started seeing a lot of things that might be attributed to her health, mold, for instance.
So she still lived in the house?
She had been up until maybe the last week or two before closing. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What were the numbers on it? What was the price you got it under contract for, and what was the ARV on it?
We got it under for 40, and the ARV was about 120, 124, somewhere in that area.
And what did you all estimate the repairs would be on it?
20.
Around 30?
20 to 30,000.
20 to 30,000. Okay. All right. And so how did you go about finding a buyer once you got it under contract?
Was that a sign as well?
We got the buyer from Bandit Signs. Well, first from Bandit Signs, actually. I was familiar with our buyer, but then Arthur had posted our property on Craigslist, but he actually called from a Craigslist ad.
Oh, that's right.
And he just came out a couple days later, made an offer. We negotiated back and forth a couple times, and we locked it in and picked up the earnest money check that next day.
What was the price that you locked it in for?
$61,500.
How much?
$61,500.
Okay, so that was a 21.5 spread there. Okay, so obviously you were having issues. I guess he was ready to close a lot faster than when it actually closed.
Well, yeah, but that's the importance of having a rapport with your buyer as well. He was familiar with the situation. Advise him, hey, we're dealing with a hoarder here. Just advising him how the contract even came about, what we've been dealing with. And so he was pretty flexible in knowing that, hey, we may need to extend things out. But definitely did our best to stick to our timeline. We closed 1 week after our initial close date. So, but it was definitely a tough process to manage. Like Arthur said, communicating with her, she only wanted to communicate via text message. She was in and out of the hospital. But the great thing was just the rapport building. So when people say it's not about the house, it's about the rapport that you build with that seller, that's what got this deal to close, was the rapport built with her. I mean, she trusted us. We were in and out of her house on our own without her even being there cleaning out her house. So we definitely had a solid relationship with this particular seller, and we created a solution for her that she didn't have. So, I mean, she really wanted to work with us as well.
Yeah, if I could just co-sign on that, like she said, it's not always about the money. One of the things I remember most when I was leaving her house after spending a day cleaning up, she just called me back and said, thank you so much. I don't know what I would have done had I not got your number and you guys, helping me out here. That was huge, man.
You all, so I'm assuming the buyer, you set up a time for the buyer to do an inspection or walkthrough of the property?
Oh, yeah. He came and checked out the property.
Okay.
But the property was solid. Mechanicals, good, roof, siding, everything was all replaced within the past 5 years. So all the working mechanicals were good. It was just really the inside of the house that needed to be cleaned up and do cosmetic work. Okay, I got you.
What, so whenever you got ready to close, why did you all decide to do a double close? How I normally, well, I don't. So, but I'd like to hear why others do it or whatever. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, I was against it. Like I said, following your video, if they see what I make and they don't want to do the deal, I don't want to work with them anyway. That's the mentality I had, but talking with my partner, we just felt more comfortable on the seller side that she might have an issue. So that was the reason we went that route.
And I would do again.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I would do a double close again. I thought obviously you got to get more pieces together. We had to get a transactional funder, but the transactional funder fees was very low, very reasonable. So I was pleased with that. But I would totally structure a double close again because, again, on the seller side.
Okay, so you actually made what was the final check after paying the transactional fund and the closing cost on your end? So what was the final check amount?
$17,439.
How much?
$17,439.
$17,439. Okay, that's a very, very nice payday. Okay. Why didn't when you did the double close, I don't know if this was an option, why didn't the attorney allow you to just simply allow the buyer to come in first, fund the deal, sign off on his part, and maybe do a closing a couple of hours later with the seller? Did you all even present that, or what was your thinking on that?
Title company. They won't allow you to use the buyer's money to fund your own deal. So we had to go out and get the transactional funder. It's actually kind of hard to come across a title company in Chicago. Of course, I checked around, who's willing to allow you to use the buyer's money to fund your A to B side.
Oh, but they're okay with just a flat assignment, though, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how did you go about finding your transactional vendor?
Google.
Google is your friend, as I always say. Okay.
Yeah,
so did you have to go through a few, or it was pretty simple with the first people you talked to, or what was the situation on that?
Yeah, actually, I was familiar with transactional funders, so there was one that I went to specifically. I saw their rates, and I just continued to just do a little bit more research just to see where I can get the best rate, and come across another one who didn't even charge. Am I able to shout them out or no?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Straight line funding. Their rates are the best that I've seen thus far. They don't charge you any fee in the beginning, and they only charge you for the transaction. So we only paid $750. So any property underneath $50,000, you pay $750. Anything over that, it's 1.5%.
Okay, all right. What as far as the time frame for them to okay the deal of their process, because I know people want to know this stuff, so I think it's important. what was that process like?
Smooth, to be honest with you. I contacted them, on a particular day. I sent over the A to B side agreement and then the B to C side agreement. He reviewed it. The next day, he sent me back their one-page agreement. In addition to, said that we needed to present them with corporation/LLC documents. So submitted that on over. And then about maybe 2 days later, he approved it. And he just stayed in contact with us, just telling us, keep up with the closing date. Let me know when the closing date is, and just let him know the closing date. And he just stayed on top of his job. He's actually the one who communicated with the title company.
So what comfort level did they have from the buyer side to know that, hey, if we fund this deal, the buyer is coming to give us our money back? And I guess in essence, what was that? What's that process like on that side of it?
Well, they begin dealing directly with the title company, and so they request from the title company before they'll fund our transaction. They must see that that the buyer's money's in escrow. So buyer's money must be in escrow.
Okay, that makes sense.
Receive the A to B side and the B to C side closing file. Once they receive that, they go ahead and fund the deal.
Do you all have I know you all have done handwritten signs, which I have older videos on that. And I don't recommend them now because most people don't, as hard as I try, most people don't understand the importance of visibility, using the right markers, the right type of color sign, all that. So when people ask me about it now, even though I have a video up that I promoted it, which was a few years old, I know you all are using the handwritten. I should have asked you this before we even started this. You don't have one you can just show right quick or whatever, do you?
I wish I had my pre-printed bandit sign. That one actually got really great traction.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah, it said need to sell, and it said no commissions on it. It said, pretty much no commissions, need to sell, and a phone number. And I think that no commissions statement really stood out with people.
Okay, so it says need to sell.
Yeah,
no commissions?
No commissions.
Yeah, need to sell your house, no commission. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a catch one, and so people can, I guess you'll probably see it in your market soon. Okay, so you don't have one?
Nothing, not the seller side. We just have the cheap house for sale signs.
Let's see that. Let's see your strokes on your sign.
I gotta put the good one. The best one is in the car right now.
Oh, that's cool. No, that's cool. Oh, you all using 18 by 24. Yeah, you can see that.
Oh, we love the 18 by 24.
Huh?
We love the 18 by 24.
Yeah. I'd go with the 9. I'd use most of the stuff. I use 9 by 24. But when you promoting like that, I'd strongly suggest the 18 by 24 because it's just so much visible. It's more visible. But even if you're doing the handwritten for sellers, it probably needs to still be 18 by 24 just because what printed can give you in a smaller sign, the bigger sign is just better when you're handwriting and trying to do the handwritten version of them. So in my opinion, anyway. So what were you about to say?
Well, our best bandit sign, though, as far as attracting buyers, it has not been this one.
No, it hasn't.
It was actually a sign that said cheap house, 22K, and then a phone number.
That's what I normally go with. Exactly what I normally I'll say cheap house and maybe red. And then the price, I'll probably say 22K cash, and then a phone number in black. So, but yeah, that's normally the same thing that I do. I just letting you know how I normally do it. Also, I probably will start back using the 18 by 24s as you all are used, because I normally just flip over some of the ones that I haven't used on the seller side and just do them whatever. But so what's next for you guys? Big payday. What's next?
Marketing. Always be marketing.
That's the name of the game. How difficult I'm a big bandit sign person. A lot of people don't. That's fine, whatever. A lot of different ways to do it. It's just for me, it's the least expensive way, but at the same time, most effective way of doing it if done correctly. There is a method to this, madness or whatever. But do you all, like most markets, some areas you can't get away with bandit signs? Do you all find that to be the same issue?
Some areas I've received calls. Other areas they're fine. They stay up for weeks. Others we put them up one day and they're gone.
Yeah.
Our problem is other investors in the area.
Oh, they take them down?
Oh, they put them in the trash.
I've had that experience before also. Long story, but I've had that experience where someone actually called me. I don't know why this lady did this, but I thanked her. She said, 2 guys are taking your signs down right now. I thought you might want to know. And I was just right around the block. And I wouldn't normally be confrontational like this because I understand the game. But for some reason, it just did. And they were still there for some reason when I rolled back around. And I'm like, man, what are y'all guys doing, man? There's enough room out here. And they were just 2 younger guys. They were just like terrified this black guy show up and it didn't look like he was happy or whatever. But anyway, that you'll get that. So, but anyway, guys, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying the cities that have called, they've been cool about it. Just say, you know what, take them down, put them up, take them down. So I just haven't had a chance to get back out to those towns we do hit up, put them up, and then go back and get them up, at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, we just leave them up.
I never take them down. What? Just one more thing, and we're gonna round this up. Chicago is a huge area, a huge market. So, wow, it just Chicago is probably a minimum of 7 times bigger than Birmingham, right? And so I can't wrap my mind around in a market like that. I guess did you all grow up there? You've been there a long time?
Yeah, well, we do two markets, the Chicago area and Lake County is where the deals we just talked about are in. So it's a suburb of Chicago. Yeah,
so basically Metro Chicago, basically. Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that it just seems like, and I hear people say it's competition in Atlanta and places like man, there's no such thing in cities of that size. You're talking 4, 5, 6, 7 million people, metropolitan areas. It's going to be enough deals for everyone. Have you all considered direct mail, or is that going to be a part of your strategy, or have you even gave a run at that yet?
Oh yeah, we do letters, handwritten. We've done some printed. I haven't done postcards yet. We've got a few calls, but nothing's come out of the letters.
Okay.
To be honest, we haven't been consistent, if I'm being all the way honest.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with that, and it's expensive, but you got to be if you're going to do it, you got to be consistent with it. But just to round this up, guys, I really appreciate your time. If is there anything you all want to share, both of you all, with those that are out there trying to make it happen, here's your opportunity. Please share.
What I would say is, if this is what you want to do, stay persistent. It is challenging, but if it's what you want to do, you stay the course and you'll continue to improve, you'll continue to get better, and you'll continue to close deals. That's been my experience. I came in, no money, no knowledge, but here I am a year later and we're just really beginning to flourish, So you stick with it, you'll make it happen. And like I said earlier, always be marketing. Just always market when you're out. And I'm getting more comfortable, period, with what I'm doing as well. So I'm talking about it more. So the more I'm talking about it, the more connections I'm making, the more opportunities that come your way. So now, even at the bar, let's say, the hair shop, wherever it is, I'm just always speaking on, when I connect with someone, always speaking on what I do now. And so it just creates those opportunities. So run your mouth and market.
Yeah, I'll co-sign exactly what you said, but I would also add that watch those videos, because I got a lot of information, a lot of help from those videos. And it's just great that you put out that many videos with that much information and content, and it's really enough to get somebody started. And that doesn't even count the hand holding that you offer. So I mean, you got two ways to be successful just by using, like she was saying earlier, find one mentor and stick with that and absorb that information that you present.
Well, guys, I really appreciate you offering your time. It was on short notice, but I really appreciate you sharing your story. And it's nothing like action. As Sade says, always be marketing. You got to get that phone ringing. It simplifies this business so much. If you continue to have your phone ringing, deals will just literally fall in your lap. I'm not saying that's easy, but you got to be consistent with it. Your phone is ringing. Someone is going to come your way, a motivated seller that needs to sell because for whatever reason, that property is not an asset anymore. It's a problem, and they consider you the problem solver. So again, guys, I really appreciate you all sharing your story with us. And for those that want to get involved, obviously you know how to reach out to me. Take advantage of the 200 videos as they have done with those and made money. So again, thanks guys. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.